All right. Welcome back to the DSoG vlog. This should be episode
I believe
four
so.
It's
Yeah,
four.
um,
four sounds about right.
Four.
of the regular
Yeah.
DSoG vlog. I am Brooks. My in-game name is Camel Hunt, and I'm joined here by our normal regular co-host. Go ahead.
My
Ben.
name is Carlitos. My in-game name is DSoG Big Boy.
I can't get used to it, man. I can't.
It's hard to follow that one. My name is Ken, and my in-game name is Beckraj.
All right, cool. Well, first of all, we're all enjoying some
nice
beverages
libations.
this evening. I have a Samuel Smith's oatmeal cream stout in a Beatles glass with Paul McCartney right there. My favorite Beatle, personally. I think. I don't know. It's hard to pick. But
Oh,
what are you guys drinking?
We're both drinking old fashions, made with Woodford. We both have our
That's
little
good.
different recipes. I do 2.5 ounces of bourbon, 3/4 of an ounce of 1.5 simple syrup, 2 dashes of orange bitters, and 1 dash of aromatic bitters, with the peel of an orange and a dark maraschino cherry.
that's pretty much what I do.
It's very
Half an
elaborate.
ounce simple syrup, 3 ounces bourbon, 2 dashes Angostura, and cherry, and then
So you don't use orange bitters?
if I'm feeling orange,
I'm always
Yeah.
feeling orange. I'm
I'm
from
not.
Florida. I have to.
I like the orange. I like the oranginess.
you like sweet.
Personally.
I do like
Drinks,
sweet.
right?
That's why I have a little bit more simple
I want
syrup.
to make you something I came up with yesterday called an orange cocktail.
Is this like an orange whip? Like you?
It was like an orange whip that gave me this inspiration for it.
Okay.
I had an orange whip, and then I had a slightly sweeter version of an orange whip.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just was like, I'm going to put a bunch of orange stuff together and call it an orange cocktail and serve it in a martini glass. And I did. And it was delicious.
Nice.
And it knocked me on my ass after only one night. So,
Good. Good.
like it.
Yeah.
Well, how was everyone's weekend? Did you watch the
I
Super Bowl
did. I did watch
or not?
the halftime show and the second half at a hookah bar. But before that, I had Sushi Village, all you can eat sushi for $12.
That's down.
I,
I'm always
um,
down for
Sushi
that.
Village.
I watched the games.
Yeah. Yeah. I ran 10 miles on
Hell
Sunday morning,
yeah.
and then I basically grew roots into my couch because I could not physically move after that. No, I moved over to my desk to play some League of Legends, and then I watched League of Legends all night long. So Sunday was a good day. But yeah, watched the games. They were a good game. It was actually I actually enjoyed pretty much every game. They're pretty good. I liked most of them. Most of the matchups were a good team versus a not so good team. So you kind of knew who was gonna win, but it made it not. It wasn't like two bad teams playing each other, so it wasn't
I don't
completely
know.
boring.
TSM versus 100
T7
Thieves
100 Thieves is pretty great.
was pretty great.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. I said most of it,
You're right.
not all of it.
I thought-
TSM versus
Echo
100 Thieves was
Fox
great.
versus CLG?
That was Saturday.
We're talking about on Sunday.
I thought
Okay.
Echo Fox
Sunday.
Optic was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a really good game. Both those were good
Anyway.
games. But let's go ahead and jump into our first topic. Speaking of CLG, CLG had their first 2-0 week this week. Really bouncing back and honestly looking very, very good this whole weekend. Um, they beat Equifax on Saturday, the only undefeated team in typical CLG fashion. And they beat FlyQuest on Sunday in what was basically just like a stomp. But the question is, for a team that in the beginning of the season was ranked very highly by pretty much everybody, they've been off to a slow start, but are they back? Is CLG back in form? Are we going to see CLG only get better?
Big
from
Dick
here?
Say's back. I think that's what Stixay tweeted.
Yeah,
He did.
But
He
it's-
did tweet that. That was
I
pretty
think-
good.
I think I said that in the chat before he even tweeted it because it's true. I mean, he
it's
showed
true.
up in that Fox game. Holy crap!
Yeah. I would also like to point out in the did in the Echo Fox game, was that the game where, one second. I think that was the game where Biofrost played Alistar, and Biofrost, oh no, he played Braum. He played Alistar in the next game. But as far as I know, Biofrost has never played Alistar in a competitive game, and he actually looked really, really good. But let's focus on the Echo Fox game first, because this is probably, probably the biggest matchup of the week besides probably TSM versus 100 Thieves. But this is a really,
What?
really good game.
Was it?
First of all,
It was a
just like a
solid
really,
game.
really good
Well,
quality game of League of Legends.
CLG didn't look so good for the first 8 to 10 minutes, and then they just turned it on.
Yeah, first of all, I think that Reignover getting the Nunu pick was really, really good, because I actually think Nunu becoming meta and focusing on getting Reignover Nunu is really, really good, because Reignover is is what most people would say probably the best pathing jungler in the league.
Yeah,
And generally is just really, really good at playing PvE is kind of what
yeah. I
Mark
think
Z
it was Mark
was
who
saying
said
of Reignover's style.
like he's been doing only like two things good, which are pathing and kind of like out jungling the enemy jungler because of that pathing. And so
Yeah.
rather than like trying to make him play whatever's meta,
Yeah.
just give him the meta jungler that those are the two strengths. And clearly it worked.
And I mean, he had like 60 more CS than Dardoch, which is honestly not a very hard thing to do when you're playing Nunu. But still, I mean, this is Dardoch, who I would probably argue is the best jungler in the league currently, or up until this past week was the best jungler in the league. And Reignover was just like running circles around him. But I think probably the biggest thing to talk about though was the way that Darshan played. I think
Darshan
was a
He
madman
is phenomenal.
and carried this team to a win. Honestly, I mean, we've all seen that clip. I hope
he
we've
was
all
just
seen
like,
that clip where he solo kills Huni, and then it's just like, "You're my fucking bitch," like on air, and they like showed that as part of the Twitch stream, and everybody at the desk was like, "Oh, our bad."
we didn't mean to show
Sorry.
you that, but improved ratings, so.
But let's get into this though. Do we think that this is kind of like a springboard week for CLG? Do you guys think that they could really get better and improve from here? Start showing us
I
what
think
they can
the
really do
answer
as a team?
is yes. Like they could.
I think the answer is Big Dick Say is back.
Will
And
they?
so is CLG.
I'm not sure.
I think they might not come back in the sense of they win a fuck ton of games.
Yeah.
But they will come back in the sense that all of the games that they play, if they're against one of the other top teams, it'll be super competitive. They won't be just dicked on.
Yeah, they're. I don't know if they're gonna show up next week and be like the number one team that a lot of people think they are, but I think that the first 2 weeks of like, why are they doing this? You know that.
Yeah.
You know when people were just like,
Mm-hmm.
why do they keep going in? Why are they at the dragon when they should be in the bot lane or something like that? You're not gonna have that for the rest of the split probably. Maybe one game, but not as consistently as the first 4.
I agree.
Yeah. So do we think that specifically kind of like the two players that I think were big question marks with this roster before the season started were really going to be Reignover and Biofrost. So how do you feel about these players now after we've seen them have a really successful week?
I think that personally, I think I need to see more from Reignover. Like we were saying earlier, and like Mark Z was saying, is the PVE style going to work all the time? And I don't. It's not gonna work all the time.
Yeah.
So
Plus, Nuno's a high ban.
Yeah,
So-
plus Nuno's a high band. So I want to see.
Yeah, that may have been one of the only games when he
exactly. So I want to see
Yeah.
what Reignover can do when you don't have him on Nunu or you don't have him on one of these, just farm all day champions. If like the meta goes that way,
Mhm.
so like that's where I have a question mark on Biofrost. I mean, we were talking what, like 2 weeks ago or last week. What's the least impactful role right now? And like we said, support was like second. So
I said jungle.
yeah, I mean, I said I was
jungle.
saying support was. So
Okay.
like I don't need to see too much from Biofrost because I don't think his role is so much more impactful. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. For me, I think Biofrost is doing fine. I think once Stixay steps up, you'll see Biofrost perform better. And so, that's, yeah.
Any thoughts, Ken?
I think Stixay is the biggest problem right now. I mean, I guess kind of Rainover as well. But, you know, I'm of the opinion that the jungle isn't that impactful right now. And so, Stixay doing a lot of nothing. I mean, he really didn't do anything for the first 2 weeks. If he continues to show up, I mean, they can funnel everything through Darshan if they want, but Stixay has to do his part as like a premier ADC. And if he can do that, then we'll be good. And CLG, honestly, this past weekend looked like they could contend for the title.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that may be a bit of a stretch, but I feel like they could be a third place, fourth place team. Personally, that's just what I saw.
I'm not ranking them in the top two this week, but
yeah,
but you can see the
I could
potential.
see them going all the way in the playoffs.
You could see
if
it.
They continue to play like they did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think kind of still like my biggest question for this roster is still kind of Rainover because I don't understand why he's not being as successful or wasn't as successful up until now, up until this past weekend, because like all the junglers seem to fit what he does. You know what I mean? Like they seem to be these engaged junglers that can farm decently well and then just like support the lanes. Like when he was good on Immortals and when he was good on Fnatic, that was what that's what the meta was. You know, it was like Rek'Sai and Gragas, and that's pretty much what all you did on those champions. Was you just engage for your team, you just initiate for your team, and be a tank. And that's like what the meta is now. And I don't know, maybe they just had some growing pains that they had to get through for the first 2 weeks, but I really hope that they just continue to get better. And Biofrost, I think, is really, really good. I think he just needed to get comfortable in his new setting, honestly. I mean, it's Stixay is not as good as Double Lift, but Stixay can definitely be as good as Double Lift at times.
Yeah.
He's not as good as Double Lift just like
I'd say they have the same level of highs, but he's got lower lows. Like they have the same.
I would also say that that Double Lift is more consistently at his high.
Yes.
Especially right now. Like right now, Double Lift is killing it.
Next week, the other game that CLG played this weekend was against FlyQuest, and FlyQuest honestly kind of looks like they almost look worse than Golden Guardians. It's really bad what they did this past weekend, but they were really bad.
I just pulled up the stats on LoL Esports. Double Lift right now has a 19.3 KDA. That is ridiculous. I know we're talking about CLG right now, but
oh my god,
Stixay has a 2.9.
Well,
he was also doing real bad for the first 2 weeks. In his defense.
But I mean, we were just comparing. Yeah, but we were just comparing.
Yeah.
You know, Double Lift and.
Anyway,
that is a disgusting.
Yeah, 19.3 is just.
It's just.
That is a disgusting KDA.
All right. Sorry.
But next week, CLG plays TSM, and they also play. Who's their other game?
Clutch. No. They already played Clutch.
Optic. So they should beat Optic, and then TSM
lose to Optic.
Actually, I think it's a toss-up.
Like,
I don't know.
Pull a CLG.
We We can do our
Yeah.
predictions later, but
That would be the CLG thing, just like they beat.
yeah, they beat the undefeated team. They beat the team that's undefeated, and they go the next week and beat the team that has more wins. So that would just be awful.
Is Pobelter the best mid laner in NA?
All right. Let's move on to the next. Sorry, my video froze, and I needed to. I need to restart.
That's the
The
I
topic
know,
though
that was
was
the-
that is Pobelter the best mid laner in NA? And this is we've kind of birthed this topic because I don't even know if that's a word. But
It is a word.
We-
I don't know if right now.
we
is the
produced
right
this
time to
topic
use it.
because this past weekend, Pobelter was a madman on the Rift. He went absolutely nuts, and he's been trying to kind of push a narrative over the course of this year, before the season started, and just in interviews with people, that he really wants to like solidify himself as being someone that needs to be in the conversation
quote
with the likes of
to Avali after their first win. Pobelter said, "I just want to prove that I'm really fucking good."
Yeah. He's not saying that he wants to prove that he's the best mid laner in North America,
Just top 10.
but he just wants to prove that he deserves to be in the conversation when you're talking about who's the possible best mid laner in North America. And so also super interesting in the alternate stream. I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember who was
it
playing.
Power Evil and it was Power
Yeah.
Evil and Fabevin and TSM. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was TSM.
I don't remember who was playing, but
I think it was TSM versus Clutch, maybe. I don't know.
but
Yeah,
they
they
both
were
said,
saying-
yeah.
They're both saying that Pobelter is one of the best.
They said he was
mid-laners
the
in
best.
NA.
They said he
Oh,
was
yeah.
number
He's-
one.
He's consistently outperformed Bjerg and Jensen in solo queue.
Yeah, he said. I think that they said Pobelter, Jensen, Bjergsen / Phoenix when he plays Azir, is what they said. So,
Hey, Azir's meta right now.
but let's talk about it. Is, in your opinions, is Pobelter the best mid laner in North America?
You want to take this first?
All right. So there are only really 4 people to talk about, right? Because we're not going to include Febvin and PoE because they're like European. They've only been here for one split. Are we going
Not
to
even a split, yeah.
I think,
like? Are we? Is
I
that
actually
is that
think
our
that-
ramification here?
I actually
Or are
think that
gonna
we
say they're
should
North
include
American?
them because
Okay.
I mean those are really really big European talents that came up. Febvin
Yeah.
was considered the best mid laner in EU last split. Like he was
Yeah.
number 1 on the All Pro
Uh,
team.
I didn't agree with
no,
that, but-
I don't agree with that. I think Perks.
Yeah, I think Perks.
Perks
has been
I
the
mean,
best
I'm not
mid
saying
laner
I'm
for the
right.
past 2 years
I'm just
and
saying-
still is.
What the All Pro team was Febvin at the top. So
Okay. Well, yeah.
I mean,
So, all right, let's knock some people out. So we got all 10 of them pulled up. We're gonna put High as the worst. Just
oh lord, is he worse than
Straight up.
Keen?
yes.
Yes.
All right, fair enough.
He has a
Yes.
1.7 KDA
He,
right now.
he is on Golden Guardians though.
I
Like,
mean,
it's not
yes.
just him.
It's not just
He's
him.
not the only worst player
But he has a
on the team.
1.7 KDA. Like
Yeah, it's bad.
that's
He's
bad.
on a bad team. Let's be
Keen's-
fair. He's on a horrible team.
Right. Keen's pretty bad. But yeah, I'd say High and Keen are 9 and 10 not in that.
Honestly, I just think that the best mid laner performing right now, I think it's between Jensen and Pobelter.
Yeah, I agree.
And as a TSM
not
fan,
Phoenix.
not Phoenix. As a TSM fan, that hurts me to say,
I mean, I don't
but
think
Bjergsen's just not performing to the level.
I mean, I don't think Bjergsen has been good in at least 4 splits.
Whoa, dude, what the
Nah,
fuck did you
I don't
just
know about
say?
that.
Kid,
I don't know about
Kid,
that.
I want you to think about what you just said, and then
I'm just saying,
unthink
like,
it, and say
no,
something else.
because
Like-
Bjergsen hasn't done anything. Name one time, like, this has been an ongoing discussion. It's like, when did Bjergsen last solo kill somebody in lane? Like, he does all the right things, but that doesn't make him good. Like, he doesn't win games for his team. He just doesn't lose them.
I think he does. I think. I don't know, man. I don't think you can win 3 splits in a
His
row.
team fighting. His
His
team
team
fighting
fighting's
is
good.
impeccable.
His team fighting's good. His CSing's good. His laning presence is good.
Like,
He
just
doesn't
because
die.
you don't solo
He
kill,
understands. He can ward. He can track the enemy jungler. He can do all these great things, except like gain a lead outside of CS.
no, he is always ahead in gold.
Yeah.
Alright,
from
here's
CS.
my question. Here's my question. You're saying
But like,
you haven't
because
seen Bjergsen solo kill anyone recently.
No.
When was the last time
I'm
you
saying,
saw
like-
any other mid laner in North America solo kill anyone recently?
Jensen did it all last year.
Yeah, Jensen
like, that
did
was
it.
like Jensen's thing.
All right. Well, besides
Yeah.
Jensen, who else?
Who he did it a lot?
Did he?
he didn't do
Yeah, he did.
that much.
I don't know if he did.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to we need to make sure because what I'm
Yeah.
trying to
He did.
say.
That's why he was like popping off last
What
year.
I'm trying to
'cause, like,
say is
his
that
whole team would be elsewhere doing stuff, and he'd be getting stuff. I'm not saying Bjergsen's bad. I'm
You're
just
just
saying
saying
he's
not the
not.
best.
He's not near the top, and he hasn't been for a while.
so you're saying that Jensen is definitively at the top.
I don't
No,
know
because
if
we're still talking about Poe
I don't know
versus
if I
Jensen.
agree with that though, because
Yeah.
solo killing the opposing laner is just one aspect of being a great mid laner,
Yeah.
Right,
right? Like, maybe,
and that's why High
Jensen. Hold on, maybe
is
Jensen kills. He gets a solo kill once a week. Now that we're just doing best of one, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot harder to get solo kills in that
Yeah.
in those games because there's fewer of them. But like, I would say Bjergsen's a better team fighter.
well. So like, let's take High for example.
But
High
High just
is
sucks at
very
everything.
aggressive. Not last split, but the first split with FlyQuest, he was super aggressive, making these plays. I would not have ranked him higher than Bjergsen then, even when they were like undefeated until Cloud9 beat him. Like, I wouldn't rank High above Bjergsen. I'm just saying that like Jensen does all the stuff that Bjergsen does about like CS positioning, warding, not dying, but he also looks for the more aggressive play, and Bjergsen doesn't.
I think.
But
That's why I rank
I know,
Jensen
but
above
like, I'm
Bjergsen.
saying Jensen's better now, like this current split. But I don't
And
think
last.
the previous splits. You could say that because I think Bjergsen was better at team fighting.
I think the best way to look
He
at.
Zonias at the proper time,
That's true. He did press Zonias.
I think,
right? So
He
like,
did.
I think the best way to look at Bjergsen, and I'm not saying that he's the best currently. I don't mean to say that right now.
Yeah.
But I think the best way to look at him is he has the fewest flaws of all of the other mid
Yes.
laners in the league. I think that's safe to say. I think it's safe to say that he has the fewest flaws of all the other mid laners in the league,
See,
and that
okay.
projects him
So-
higher.
In that vein, let's look at it. This is how I see it. So everybody's at a baseline, all right, and then they've got positives and negatives. Bjergsen has the fewest negatives,
Yes.
maybe 0 negatives, but he doesn't have nearly as many positives as others. I'm looking at him right now, namely Jensen, Huhi, and Pobelter. I think they all have more positives. Even though they might also have more negatives, their positives outweigh their negatives more so than Bjergsen's lack of positives and lack of negatives balance him out.
Okay.
Does that
Well,
make sense?
let's refocus the conversation and
To
talk yet again about
Oh.
Pobelter. Point being, the dude went
Turn his PO.
he went 10-1 in the first game of the weekend, and then the next game he went 8-0. Like, he was wrecking people.
He's good.
So Pobelter specifically compared to other mid laners in North America, where would you rank him? Why would you put him there? And let's not forget, we still have to discuss, even though these guys may not be on the best teams, we still have to discuss the fact that we do have Power of Evil and Febivin
Ryu.
and Ryu. Like, the mid lane talent pool is absurd in North America.
It's pretty high.
It's
I
crazy.
mean,
Yeah.
the only mid laner I would say that isn't good right now is High. And like all
Keen.
not and Keen. Okay.
But
so
I think if you,
the other 8 mid laners.
to be fair, I think if you took High and put him in place of Ryu, I think 100 Thieves would still be just as good. Honestly, I really do. I don't think Ryu does a lot for that team. I think Ryu just does his job.
I don't know about that, just because I feel like High's used to being the main voice on his team.
Yeah.
That's true.
And he'd clash.
And
with
it would, and like Ryu is not the main voice on that team,
But-
so that would clash and that would mess up their synergy.
But I think that's a good point. Is that I think I would knock Ryu down because, much like Bjergsen, I don't see a whole lot of positives for Ryu.
Yeah,
I just don't see any negatives.
he just does his job well.
He does everything right.
I do think that part of the issue for Bjergsen are the champs that he plays typically. Like Talia, you're not gonna get a solo
All right,
kill
look.
on Talia.
I know you're a TSM fan, but we're gonna talk about
We gotta talk about
Okay.
Pobelter. We gotta
Okay,
refocus.
no, I think Pobelter's number 2. I would say Jensen is better.
Jensen's.
I think that's very fair. Yeah, I agree. I think Jensen's number 1.
I don't know. I think they're tied for 1. I would put them even.
It is very close, no matter what. It is very, very close.
I think they do a good job.
Well, okay. Well, what does Pobelter give us that Jensen does not? Let's talk about that. Like, what can we definitively say about the way that Pobelter plays the game that puts him above Bjergsen or Jensen?
I mean, IQ tests.
All right.
He has a higher
He's
IQ.
got the highest IQ.
Let's
Okay,
save the
now
memes.
that- okay.
Let's save the memes, boys.
All right.
Unbelievable.
I see. That's the thing. I don't know what would make Pobelter better than Jensen.
I don't
right
either.
now.
I actually don't either, and I think it's hard.
Pobelter is on a better team,
Is he?
like
Mm,
player wise. Each player
mm,
on, I would say each like, I mean it's not that big of a difference,
I would.
but
I mean,
double lift better than Sneaky.
yes,
marginally.
I would agree.
The boy has a 19.3 KDA.
Marginally.
I would give double lift.
Sneaky
over
has a 5.1 KDA.
Brooks knows how I
which
feel
is
about
incredible.
Sneaky. I think you know how I feel.
Yeah.
I
about
really like
Sneaky.
Sneaky. You just
I
don't,
don't really
like
like Sneaky.
I love Sneaky.
I don't like Sneaky.
But double lift is just outperforming all ADCs by a large ass
All right,
margin.
let's
I
focus.
do think double
let's
is better, but
let's refocus.
But okay, back to my argument. Jensen is on a worse, not a whole lot worse, but like marginally worse team,
let's just
but is performing better than Pobelter. Does that make sense? Like they're tied in the standings,
Okay.
and he's just carrying more.
I think this is a hard discussion for me because I cannot definitively say what Pobelter's style is. Does that make sense? Okay, so when I look at Jensen is a really, really good laner, and that's what he does. He plays lane really, really well. We all know that. Bjergsen, like Carl was kind of saying, Bjergsen's really, really good at team fighting. So, as far as I would say, the competition for Pobelter would be those two. But I think it's really, really hard for me to say what exactly Pobelter's niche is. Like, and if you guys can answer that for me, then maybe I could give you an answer for why I
I've
say
always
he's
seen
better.
Poe as like the jack of all trades kind of mid laner. Like,
But is he
if you
jack of
want him
all
to play
trades
somebody-
or master of none? That's my question.
I think he might be also master of none. That like, if something became meta tomorrow, like if you told me that Scion mid was meta,
Oh boy.
and I had to pick Jensen, Pobelter, or Bjergsen to play Scion mid for the first time ever, I'm gonna pick Pobelter.
I would pick Bjergsen. And you know why? He was the first to play Galio.
True.
I mean,
Like
Faker
the
did it
amount
way
that he.
before
Okay,
him.
but in NA,
True.
Right.
he was the first to play Galio.
Remember how that worked out though?
Yeah, they won the split.
But that game.
Got him.
But they won the split.
Got him.
But that game.
I know, but they won the split and he kept playing Galio.
I'm not saying what happens in 3 weeks after they both practice Scion. I'm talking about tomorrow.
Okay.
Pobelter.
But he was bold enough to play that champion and say he's comfortable enough on that champion first.
See, I think I'm just uncomfortable putting Pobelter above Jensen or Bjergsen just because I don't know what he does stylistically.
I'm putting Pobelter above Bjergsen.
But is that because he's
And
on a
I
better
love
team,
Bjergsen.
or because
I don't-
you definitively think he is a better mid laner?
No, I think right now Pobelter is a better mid laner.
I tie him with Jensen.
At first place.
I just think Jensen's like half a step
So who
better.
takes second then? If they're tied for first, who's second?
No one takes second. Third is Bjergsen. When you tie for something, it's the easy.
Yeah, I know how that works.
So, okay. So next is it Bjergsen? I'd say I don't know, cause
I think it's
If
Bjergsen.
you say Power of Evil because you love Optic Gaming, then you're wrong.
No. The other ones I would think of would be Febivin and Phoenix. But I think Bjergsen. I think Bjergsen would be 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah,
I
but
feel
no,
like
I
it's
think-
just hard to say. I mean, I think Pobelter went off, but they also didn't have the stiffest of competition this past
What?
weekend.
They play Golden Guardians. The Golden Guardians.
Guardian.
You ever try to get past a Golden Guardian? It's solid gold.
Yeah, they were gonna win
Guardian
that game.
something.
Pobelter could have used one hand and they would have won that game.
They could have played tandem mode with their academy team, and they would have won that game.
Straight up proof.
Awesome.
That's true. All right. Well, I think
GG,
we've
Babs.
exhausted this discussion
The
quite a bit.
Pobelter.
So we're gonna move on. Sorry for not focusing it as well as we could have, but I hope you
That
all
was
enjoyed that
Pobelter
slash
little bit of discussion
Bjergsen
right there.
conversation.
All right, let's move on to our third topic. So we've seen these new organizations, these new franchised organizations, be involved in North American LCS for 3 weeks now. And which of the new orgs? So we have Optic, Golden Guardians, Clutch. Who else is there? FlyQuest, I'm still gonna kind of consider as new. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but out of these new organizations, and we'll just throw it out for all of the organizations. Who are you kind of impressed of so far? Who's producing content that you like? Who's been successful? Who's just doing anything that you think is overall improving the league?
I would have to go with Hunted Thieves.
Hunted.
Not only because they're performing the best out of all the new teams, with them being 4-2 and in 4th place, but also their content has been amazing. Their house tour was awesome. The Quick Loans by Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah, the Rocket
house
Mortgage
tour.
Quick and
Also sponsoring DSoG.
Also sponsored DSoG.
Yeah,
No, but also like all of their heist videos have been
they've
incredible.
been awesome. Yeah.
And like the way they have the player's house and the gaming like office separate. Yes, they're joined together, and you just go up on the roof and walk around. But like having that separation is great. I don't think even TSM has that separation.
No, I'm pretty sure
I
they
think
still have
only-
like the
all I
standard.
know- I think only
Yeah.
Optic has it separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Liquid is building their new office now,
Right.
but it's still not done.
Yeah.
100 Thieves is a new team that just came into the split, and they already have that down.
Well, they're also only building for League. Liquid is doing it for all of their esports,
But we're just
and
talking
they're in
about
a
League.
lot of stuff.
But we're just talking about League.
Okay. Fair.
Right. So
Yeah, I also think that Nadeshot is a great addition to the League of Legends community. That dude,
I agree.
when I heard that he was going to be, I heard about this guy that was a Call of Duty pro player, was going to be owning a team in League of Legends. I was like, oh, this is gonna be some like Call of Duty bro that knows nothing about League of Legends. Um,
You're only half right.
I was half right, but dude, he's pretty
Because he
awesome.
knows nothing of the.
Like just like
Dude's
seeing
a
him in
dude's a
heist
bro.
videos, like he's pretty
cool.
badass. He just seems like a really cool dude that
Pretty
really cares. Uh, and I really appreciate that. Um, Another team that I've been watching a little bit of their content. I've watched Optic has they've been doing like kind of like a TSM Legends sort of thing where they just kind of do like week by week
Recall?
videos, kind of highlighting the weekend and what kind of went down. Um, I,
Talk about recall.
yeah, it's called Recall. It's pretty good. I really like it. They
Oh,
interview
yeah.
Acadian a lot, who always has very interesting things to say. Um, the only person on their team that they haven't interviewed was Arrow, probably because he's uncomfortable to speak in English. But um,
I expect.
yeah, I mean, Optic was an endemic gaming organization already, so like they already know how to function, with people that play esports. So I
I mean,
expected
they're
them
bigger
to,
than all the other orgs.
yeah, I expected them to get off to a good start and already know what they were doing. I also think it's really interesting, like Carl was mentioning, that they have like their office is like separate from where they live. It looks like it's in like an office building. Like they literally, I
Yeah.
think, are in an office building. Other people can walk by and see them practicing League of Legends. Like that's kind of weird, but like kind of cool at the same time. I don't know. I think that's really interesting. But Optic has been
Yeah.
putting out some good content. So who hasn't put out any content? Who are we disappointed in?
Um.
Golden Guardians hasn't done anything, and they have a horrible
True.
Yeah.
team. They also just fired their head coach, Loco Doku.
Good.
Yeah,
Um,
that was much needed because I mean, if we want to get into this, like how
we don't know what he
like,
said. First of all, we don't know.
we
What
Doesn't
don't-
matter what he
we,
said.
it doesn't.
Um,
Okay, the fact that both Riot and the organization itself deemed that what he said
was inappropriate.
was that
Yeah.
bad, was inappropriate, and that like both of those organizations did, and how quickly it was dealt with.
It was fast.
Like literally the next day he was
He
fired.
must have been pretty bad. He must have been really bad.
Exactly. So like it doesn't matter what he
Yeah,
said.
it doesn't matter what he said. It's just that good on. So Golden Guardians hasn't made any content really that I've seen. Maybe they have, and I just haven't seen it.
I don't think so, man.
They don't
I
have
was
a good
looking for it.
team, but at least they know how to get rid of an asshole.
Yes.
So like,
But like, let's
But yeah, I don't know what
beyond Loco Doku. Let's move beyond this, because this is.
but I don't know. I don't
What-
know what they're doing.
what do
Same
you-
with Clutch though.
Yeah,
Uh,
Clutch. At least
and
Clutch
FlyQuest.
is kind of a good team. That's the difference, though. Is that at least Clutch is kind of a good team. FlyQuest is mediocre, but like Golden Guardians, they're not producing any content. They're not a good team. Like, how can they actually improve the league? That's my question. Is like, you're bringing in this
Yeah.
team. Riot's brought in this team. That's not trying to make themselves better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I understand. Not every team can be great. Somebody's got to be at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, but
Did-
Optics 1-5 and making great content. They
And they
shouldn't-
also have likable players.
That's true.
There's,
Didn't Golden Guardians get the old Immortals house?
yes,
Oh.
they did actually. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that. Yeah. They
Oh yeah,
did.
because the Immortals moved to their new campus.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was just thinking about that because like Immortals died for this.
Yeah.
Immortals
died for this.
so that way.
Damn it!
Not to- but
So
honestly,
Bring
though-
back my boys.
Honestly though,
No one needs to be in the LCS.
Not to continue to harp on that, but like, they could have kept Immortals because Immortals would have been producing content and would have had a good team.
Exactly.
instead of
They
Golden
would have
Guardians.
produced more content, I guess. That was my big critique of Immortals, and I was a huge Immortals fan, but they didn't create enough content.
But let's
I
talk
think they
about
do now, but they didn't then.
also,
That's fair.
FlyQuest isn't really putting a lot out there. Neither is
Yeah.
Clutch. Um,
CLG, TSM, Liquid, C9,
they're
are
all doing
putting out
stuff that is awesome.
great content.
Yeah.
Fox is putting out some good stuff. I don't know if they're doing a lot of like
Is Fox?
endemic content.
I looked around.
But they're doing a lot of like interviews. Like they're staying present
Yeah.
in the media, and that's not as good as like making your own content, but it's better than.
Yeah. As far as what I was able to find on YouTube, Echo Fox has not produced a video for this split, like
Cool.
anything. But you're right, they are like still.
They've done a bunch of interviews.
Yeah, and they're a popular team. I feel like now that they're winning a lot.
They got some cool kids, and then they got Dardock.
I really hope that these other. I really, gee, literally can't get away without talking about how Dardock is just a shit person.
I should have brought my Dardock
But,
jersey.
like,
Yeah.
I should have just.
Once we get jerseys, we should just wear them whenever we do this.
Maybe that's what we'll do.
I'll have to get me
Yeah.
a 100
jersey.
Thieves
Do you have a
jersey.
you wear small, right?
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of
No,
jerseys.
but I
They're all
want
gonna
my
be
own.
Immortals
I want my
jerseys.
own TSM jersey.
Honestly, I might actually get me a CLG Biofrost jersey just because I don't like the way the 100 Thieves jerseys look.
They look
Yeah,
good.
I don't like
They
those
don't look very
jerseys.
good. But I do like the CLG jerseys though. So, I don't know.
CLG jerseys are hype. Did
Speaking
you see
of hype
those?
in CLG.
Yeah. Did you see those Travis interviews where they were all like, "I like my new jersey."
Oh yeah, those were good. All right, well, do we want to mention anything else about these new orgs? I just don't want to see any bottom feeders, and I feel like we kind of have a bottom feeder, specifically in Golden Guardians. FlyQuest is like on the verge of feeding at the bottom, but like it hurts me to see some of these organizations that were gonna be really really good for League of Legends go away. Specifically, Immortals, Dignitas. I would have been fine to see them stay in League of
would've
Legends,
been
honestly.
But Immortals, baby.
I don't know. Anybody else got anything on this?
I got some power rankings.
All right, let's move on to the power rankings. All right, let's try to
Alright.
keep this concise. Let's try to. Last week, the past 3 weeks has been kind of chaotic, so let's try to.
For power rankings, I feel like that's been our.
Everybody's
Most
just kind of
concise.
shouted out teams one after another, so let's try to keep it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Carl, you go first.
All right. I would probably say that number one is going to be. I think I'm gonna put Liquid.
Nice.
I'm gonna put Liquid at the top just because they have the four quickest games out of all the teams. They have Double Lift, who's popping the
They
fuck
have
off
double
right
lift.
now. Pobelter, who I know we just said he was like 1-2. And like all of their players are just popping the fuck off. Impact is doing really well right now.
Oh, your dog in, he's gonna go crazy.
Carl's dog's about to enter the room.
See, I haven't seen him yet. I kind of want to see this.
Yes.
Is he cute?
Hey, Charlie. Hey. Look at him.
Oh, look at him.
No. Really?
He's gonna.
He looks like a happy pup. All right, well, Carl, keep going. You got
Okay,
TL.
TL, I put TL as number one. Cloud9. No, Echo Fox number two.
There you go.
Cloud9. Cloud9 is number three. TSM number.
Woo,
CLG
boy.
number four.
Oh.
CLG number four.
Oh, boy.
TSM number 5. 100 Thieves 6. 100. 7 Clutch. 8, I would put FlyQuest, 9 Optic, and we're all gonna have Golden Guardians as 10. So let's just get that out of the way.
Jesus Christ. All right, Ken, you go ahead.
All right, number 1, I'm gonna say C9. Number 2, Liquid. Number 3, Fox. I feel like with the top 3, you have to go with those that are at 5 and 1. It's just kind of they've demonstrated that they're the top 3 right now.
Yeah. I agree.
And then number 4, I'm gonna say TSM. Number 5, CLG. Number 6, 100 Thieves. 7, Optic. No, 7, Clutch. 8, Optic. 9, FlyQuest. And
Golden
10,
Guardians.
Dirty South Gaming. 11.
And then 11,
11.
Golden Guardians.
Golden Guardians. Dave.
Who's Golden Guardians jungler?
Contracts.
Contracts.
He's an elo hell, dude.
Oh yeah.
He's stuck, man. Right. I am going to be very, very similar to Ken.
Number 10 is Golden Guardians, just to make that clear.
No, 10's DSoG.
Yeah, dude.
I already wrote it into the Google Doc, so.
Okay.
Mine will be pretty similar to yours, Ken.
Okay.
I think C9 is at number 1, TL. Echo Fox number 3. I think TSM's number 4. 100 Thieves.
100.
I think 100 Thieves and CLG are pretty like you can mess around with them. I think they're probably the same. Optic I'll put at 8.
Yeah.
Fly. DSoG at number 10. Golden Guardians at 11.
We could beat them, right?
Probably, dude. Nah, dude.
Like if we worked on our coordination enough, we would beat them just because we were coordinated and they weren't.
They would shit on us, dude. Matt would eat
like,
me. Matt would literally eat my lunch.
Contracts. I wouldn't have a jungle.
It'd all
He
be
would
gone.
have all
dude.
4 quadrants of the jungle. I would go to my red buff to start to clear. That would be the only camp I get all game.
You have one camp. All right, let's move on.
Beckrush has 4 farm. What is this?
Let's move on to our
Report Nocturne.
predictions for this weekend. Our first game, TSM versus Clutch.
Hey, can you bring up the...
Alright, TSM versus Clutch. I think I'm gonna give this to TSM.
Yeah, I think so too. I think TSM is back with a vengeance.
I think they're doing well. I think they're gonna do well. I think TSM.
Yeah. Next up, this is gonna be a good
Match of
one.
the week.
It's gonna be a
This
good
is
one.
gonna be a good one.
C9
I'm gonna
versus
give it to
TL.
TL.
Impact versus Licorice. Who won the trade or whatever? Who won the offseason?
I think that C9 wins. I
Really?
think C9 wins. Yeah, dude. I think C9.
Because Smoothie's better than Ole?
Sure. We'll go with that.
I mean, I don't see any other reason why. Like,
I just think. I don't know, man. I have a feeling. I think C9 is gonna win.
for TL, Impact versus Licorice is probably about even. In the jungle, I give it to Smithy over Sven. In the mid lane, that's tied. And then the ADC is the biggest discrepancy. I give Doublelift a good bit over Sneaky. But then I give Smoothie slightly above Ole. So.
What do you say though?
Smoothie,
Who wins?
Smoothie Sneaky has better synergy than Doublelift Ole.
True.
Yeah, did you hear the interviews
I did.
with Doublelift and Ole?
Yeah.
How they're having
They're
little
trying to work
issues.
on it.
Little issues.
I mean, they're pro players and they both want to be better, so I think they'll get over it. But
They will.
Well, what's the call? You boys haven't given an answer.
oh, I give Liquid.
Liquid.
Oh, I said Liquid.
All right. Next game, we got Optic and CLG.
CLG.
I'm gonna say CLG is gonna pull a CLG and lose.
That's
They're gonna-
what I did last week, and I was right.
They're gonna lose to Optic. So yeah, Optic wins this one.
I think CLG wins.
Every week I'm gonna pick a
'cause
random
I
game
don't
for
wanna-
Optic to win.
I don't
And
want to
then they're gonna
believe
let
that
me
my
down.
team
Yeah.
could lose to Optic, so I'm gonna say
Oh,
CLG.
come on, dude.
100
What
Thieves
happened?
versus FlyQuest.
100.
100 takes it.
On it.
And quite possibly the most exciting match of the week. Echo Fox
Hey,
versus
what
Golden
do I say
Guardian.
about? Hey, who wins in a Golden Guardians game?
No
The
one.
other team.
The person who turns off their stream. That's who wins. You know how it's gonna end, so why bother?
I hope Dardock tells them to uninstall.
Because you turn it into a drinking game.
Dude, we should do that this weekend. Oh, I'm gonna be at a wedding.
Damn it.
All right,
I
next
have
up.
work on Saturday.
Beginning on Sunday, we have FlyQuest versus Cloud9.
C9.
We got 100 Thieves,
Yeah, see none.
Golden Guardians.
100.
100 Thieves wins that one pretty easily. Another very close match. These next two are super close. Next three maybe super close. We got TSM versus CLG.
CLG.
TSM.
I'm gonna stand by my boys and say CLG wins.
CLG.
Team Liquid versus Echo.
This is gonna be
Fox.
such a good game.
It's
This
gonna be
such a
so
good game.
good, man. It's gonna be so good.
I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm saying Team Liquid. I
go
can't
with
base
Liquid.
it off of any kind of.
Oh, I mean, think about it. Liquid has the better bot lane, like by far.
Yeah. But Fox has Hoonie.
Impact's a world champion. Hoonie couldn't do that.
It's the
Impact
Who
was a
didn't
world.
do it?
Impact.
Wait.
Hoonie
Hold
didn't
on.
win.
Impact was a world champion in season 3. Hoonie went to the finals last year.
He got 3-0'd.
You know, SKT wanted Impact
He almost
to come
didn't
back.
even make it because Misfits took him out.
SKT wanted Impact to come back. FYI, for this year.
I know.
So, just saying.
Yeah.
Just
Just saying. It is the battle of ex-SKT top laners, so that's pretty exciting.
It is.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
true.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty
I think that Echo Fox wins. Just a gut feeling here that Echo Fox takes a win, and Double Lift gets pissed.
You know who's the real winner of this game? The people who watch it.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
the
the opposite
person
of the Golden Guardians
Turns
game.
the stream on. All right.
You turn on. It's going to be a good game. That's what we're saying.
The last game
Swatch.
of the
It's gonna
weekend.
be a good day.
The last game of the weekend, we got Optic versus Clutch.
I think this is also going to be a good game. I think Optic's going to win. I think Optic's coming into this weekend, and they're going to be on fire. I think they're going to look so much better.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think Optic wins. I think it'll be close,
Optic's-
but I think Optic wins.
Nice. Optic's such a good team, except Lemonation.
Oh, rip. R.I.P. dude.
He's so smart, but
He's so smart, but he's so
Not
bad.
And Clutch, I think Akuo is pretty good actually. So I don't know.
Hakuo and Apollo look pretty solid.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this game to Clutch.
I think Optic's gonna win just because I like Optic. So
I do need to see more from Lyra,
Acadian.
though.
From who?
Lyra.
yeah, Lyra's been pretty meh.
He's just.
He's not the powerhouse he was last year anymore.
Yeah, he came in last year and was like, I'm the best jungler in North America, and then this year he's like, not there.
Not there.
Well, that's all we had to talk about today. Anybody got anything exciting going on?
Let me think. Friday I'm going bouldering. That's always fun.
That is
I
cool.
love bouldering.
Yeah.
Going to the hangout.
So,
Let's talk real quick about NALCS finals being in Miami.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming we can get tickets,
Yeah,
Carl and I are
we're gonna
going.
be going. So
So
yeah.
if anybody's there and wants to say hey to us, we'd love to say hey to you.
to you. So, but also, like, what do you think about this? So I watched a couple of interviews with the head of esports for Riot. He had one with Travis, and he had one with Blitz Esports.
Yeah.
And he was saying that for the spring, they're looking to go to smaller venues, so that way they can go to different places because all of because they don't want to just repeatedly be going to the same venue. Because like there's only so many big,
Yeah.
there's only so many big stadiums to go to that can have all of the equipment and setup necessary for a League of Legends tournament. Like in when they had the finals at the Staples Center, the guy was saying they had 3 more semi trucks worth of equipment than the Grammys did that year.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's actually kind of hard to believe, but okay, I'll believe it. Like if he says,
but like all of the computers.
the Grammys
and-
have like musical equipment, man. I don't like that's a lot. That's much bigger than a computer.
But so does the finals though, because the finals have the musical
That's
acts.
true. That's true. I'm not saying he's wrong. I feel like that's a lot.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it's good because that means they're going to be able to go to more places.
Because, yeah, well, not just that, but esports needs to be a more personal event.
Yeah.
It needs to transfer from just something you watch on Twitch. You know, all other traditional, like, spectator events or entertainment events transferred from live to streamed, from on a stage to the television.
Yeah.
Esports is the first thing that's going the other way, where it's going from on a computer screen to live. And I think there needs to be more live options for events. And by going to smaller places, I think, it's exposing... Even though fewer people can go to those events, they're hitting more people by going to areas that they wouldn't otherwise be able to go to.
You don't think that there's a large... You don't think there's a larger place that they could host it in Miami? I mean, almost certainly there probably is.
Oh, I didn't say that.
No, I mean there.
What you're saying, what you're saying is that if I understood what you were trying to say correctly, that you're saying that they're trying to go to places where they're trying to go to more places is basically what you were saying.
Yeah, that's whatever it is that makes them want to go to more places, whether they tell themselves it's a smaller venue so they can go to a new place or something, doesn't matter. If they're going to new places, that's what I want. I don't care if it's for 1,000 people or 10,000 people. I mean, I'd love them to
Wouldn't
go
it
to
be
the
better,
Superdome
though?
and be there for 30,000 people.
Wouldn't it be better though if they could just pick a larger
Yes.
venue
Yes.
in a different
Yes,
place?
but I think the logistics of one, is that place booked up yet? And 2, can it support all of the equipment they need? Are 2 different things.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the stadium itself has to be able to handle the bandwidth of them streaming, not only to the English audience, especially for like bigger events like Worlds or MSI. Not only does it have to be able to they have to be able to stream to English audiences, but also all of the other nations that are watching it.
Yeah, but...
And like that's a fuck ton of bandwidth.
Yeah, but you're from Miami. I mean...
I'm not from Miami. I'm from Orlando. That's a 4-hour difference. No.
My point is, you know the area enough. I'm from New Orleans. I know New Orleans. Like, if they wanted to have it at the Superdome, I'm sure the Superdome could accommodate it. And that's a 25,000 to 30,000 person venue. Why didn't they go to New Orleans? I don't know. Don't really care right now because it's a moot point. Hopefully they go there in the future. But whatever reasoning they came up with to go to Miami versus New York, I'm happy.
Because it's a new venue. We don't need them going to Madison Square Garden again.
Right.
So, no, maybe...
Also, that's bias, okay? CLG, that's their home, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe they go to New Orleans for summer. Because that's a bigger venue.
That would be awesome. That would be
Right.
so awesome.
All right. Well,
Like-
Hey, all of DSoG is going.
yeah. If it's in New
Right.
Orleans,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
be there. But
We'll all be there.
Go to spring
If
finals.
you buy a T-shirt, if you buy a ticket to go and you come say hey to us as like DSoG, I'll give you a DSoG T-shirt.
Yeah. Go to spring finals. Go see
I don't even
King.
have a DSoG
Go
t-shirt.
see
It's
Carlitos.
not done yet.
I will not be there. That is right around when I take my comps so that I can graduate with a master's degree. So that's kind of cool. But go to spring finals. Go talk to Carlitos, and Ken, and tell us about it. We'd like to meet up with you if you're watching. But that was it. Mardi Gras is coming up. I don't know if you're going to New Orleans, Ken, but
Woo!
I got time off from school, so I'm pretty excited about that. But
I might go home.
yeah. Well, thank you for watching. This is we're gonna end the vlog right here. But thank you for watching. Tune in to some LCS this weekend. We're gonna be talking about it next weekend or next week. It's gonna be awesome. Maybe we'll pop out another video in between there about some general esports content or something else. But let us know how you like this, and you're in the middle of the revolution, baby. DSoG revolution. My beer is gone, but raise your glass, gentlemen, to the revolution. All right. See you later. Thank you for tuning in.